What's up, everybody? My name's Greg. Welcome to the channel. I'm living out here in the Los Angeles area, and yesterday was about one of the first times we've actually had a really good sunny, clear day and a warm day. It got up to, I don't know, 84 degrees or something like that. So I chose to go out into nature, spend some time out there, and it was really cool because I was getting a lot of sun, soaking in that energy of the sun. Really felt good. I usually go maybe once every 2 weeks, but I would say the previous maybe month and a half I hadn't gone at all. It's been raining a lot, and a lot of times when it's raining too much, I don't like to go out there because it gets really muddy. My shoes get all dirty, and yeah, I don't want to clean them, and I don't want to be stepping in a bunch of sticky mud, and because I like to go off the hiking trails, but the trails too are muddy too. They're dirt. But so I went out there after a month and a half, and I was out there. In the previous videos, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, maybe 2.5 months ago, I don't know. I talked about encountering some cat out there in nature, but I never see the cat. It's always just meowing, and I never see it. And I walk towards with the sound, and I don't hear it. And I get closer to it, and then all of a sudden it's even farther away. It's like playing a little game with me. I still haven't seen it, but yesterday I went out there again. I hadn't been out there for about a month and a half. And yeah, all of a sudden I heard that cat again meowing, and I didn't see it. Same thing. And I was only able to stay out there for an hour, so I didn't bother to follow it that time. So I just kept in the spot that I was in. And maybe another 10, 15 minutes later, all of a sudden it meows again, a little more closer to me. So that time I finally walked in its direction. I still can't find it. I can't visually see this cat, but it's out there somewhere. But I don't know why I brought that up, but it's just an experience I had. So trippy. Little cat's playing games with me, but it sounds like it's friendly. It sounds like it's comfortable with me. Just maybe it's gaining my trust slowly. But yeah, I was talking about the sun and how it's out again, and you really feel that good burst of energy, as they say, the vitamin D. But it's really it's a bit more than that. The sun is really the reflector of our true soul, our true inner light. Because you think about it, in the solar system, the sun is the center of the solar system. The only true light in the solar system and throughout the universe are stars and our sun. That's the only true light that shines on all the planets, the moon. And the planets and the moon reflect back that light from the sun. That's the only way they can reflect their energy, is by getting energy from the sun and then emitting it back out, and we feel that. So that is it's an important planet, the sun. By the way, I'm talking about Vedic astrology, Thunder Wizard Vedic astrology in particular. If anybody's interested in a reading, you can go to greg.thunderwizard.com, and I could give you a reading. But in what I was going to say was, in Vedic astrology, the sun is the third most important planet when we're talking about the real points in the chart that really affect you. The first one is the ascendant, which is the sign of your first house, and the second one is the moon. That's really important. That represents your mind and your emotions. And third, a distant third. It's always mentioned that it's a distant third is the sun. And I think what's going on is because in society, like in Western astrology, they use the sun sign, but it represents more of the ego, because this society is really ruled by ego, big time, especially where I'm around. It's mostly more ego. It's almost pure ego. I don't meet or bump into any really spiritual people unless I'm online looking on YouTube. That's where I see spiritual people going on, talking. So that's why it's a distant third. But the real deeper meaning of the sun in a chart is really important. You know, it really does represent our heart. It physically represents the heart, and the heart really is the shining light within us. And, you know, it influences different areas of the body. That light shines through different chakras, shines through the mind. Just like in the solar system, it shines on those planets, and the planets reflect back that light. Same thing with our light energy in our heart, our souls. It goes through different points of the body, and we emit and express those energies through the influence of our mind, our third eye, you know, the throat chakra, the mouth chakra, our intellect, Mercury. So the same thing is happening within us that's happening out there in the universe. And that sun is really, it's, you know, it's the biggest planet out there. You know, it's the one with the biggest gravity. It's the one that shines that true light. And it's really important. It represents our courage, our ability to be really straightforward with explaining ourselves, really what's really going on in our mind. You know, Mercury is our intellect, but we get that boost of it, being able to express it through the sun's energy. You know, I mean, I think of that the humongous size of it. It's just a huge pool of gravity, of energy. You know, that sun, and that's our heart, you know, our center. You know, it's really strong. And through the heart, we can harmonize all of our energy centers within us. So it's really an important sign. It's an important planet in our charts in Vedic astrology. Let's say, depending on where it is, it can influence you for good or bad. Like, let's say you have the sun in your third house, which is, third house is like willpower, courage. If you have the sun there, it can influence you in the positive way. It can really influence you, give you a lot of that confidence, that courage, that stamina to really stand up for yourself, really express your opinions, and, you know, this is me, and that's it, and that's who I am, and, you know, you don't take no shit. You know, when you don't let people decide who you are. You know, you're going to correct them and let them know who you are. On the bad side of that, if it gets off balance, you can turn into, like, say, like a tyrant. You know, you can be manipulative to people. You can start overpowering people. I was going to say with a badly placed sun, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're just going to be a slave to that attitude. It just means that you have that certain gravitational instinct to act that way. But this is the challenge that you have in your life. You know, you don't have to really come from that point of reference where it's really super negative. You know, you can feel that feeling of wanting to defend yourself and take the time to really express it in a healthy way. You know, you choose your words carefully, and over time, you know, you'll be able to do this more often. You'll have a healthy sense of self. You know, you don't want to get that overinflated ego. You want to have a healthy ego to express that. Like my sun is in the 12th house. The 12th house represents solidarity, represents spirituality, imagination. It represents an area where your energy is expended. So my sun is in there. My ego's in there. I mean, I also got my moon there and Mercury. So you can say my mind, my intellect, and my ego are all in that 12th house. Like, I'm just ready to sail away. I'm more into spirituality than this world. But I need to really be here too, you know. So, yeah, my sun has the lowest degrees too. So it's really the one that has the most say in that house, which means my emotions and my intellect get filtered and expressed out from my sun, more of my ego, more in a personal type of a way. where I talk about, I feel this and I'm like this and I really think the world should be like this. And even though I'm coming from a spiritual point of view, I still can come from that ego of wanting to really express spirituality in my way, in the way that I see it. So that's how the sun can influence you. But it's really a big part of who we are. It really is that true light of who we are. It also represents your father too, wherever it sits. Like mine is in the 12th house. It represents having a distant relationship with my father. This is where energy gets expended, where energy gets kind of dispersed in a really foggy kind of a way, where the connection to him is not really there strongly. He wasn't teaching me anything. He was out there in his own mind, sailing away. And that's really true of my father. He was more in his own world, but I can relate to that attitude because I'm in my own world with that attitude too. But when I look back, he could have taught me a lot more about life. I mean a lot more. I mean a lot. 80-90% more. He wasn't much of a teacher to me. My mother was more of a bigger influence on me, even though my moon is in the 12th house too, which represents the mother. But wherever the sun sits really influences how your father treats you as well. Like if you have it in the 6th house, it's going to be a very, you're going to be bumping heads with your father a lot. The 6th house is like the house of enemies. It's a house of confrontations, that type of stuff. You can have some problems there. If you have your sun in your 2nd house, it can be a good thing. That has to do with family, communication. He'll teach you a lot of things about different types of things. Sun, I was going to say sun represents government too, authority, and how you react to authority, So let's say you have the sun in your 7th house. 7th house represents like litigation, lawyers, people who are lawyers could have good placements in the 7th house. If you have the sun in the 7th house, that will make you a really good authority figure on the law, really knowing what's up with this human law and knowing how to defend yourself and defending other people, being a lawyer. You'll have a good grasp of the law. And that's something I'm very aware of too, being that I have the sun in the 12th house. It represents spiritual law. I'm very aware of spiritual law. It means way more to me than man-made law. That's something that I strive and continue to really incorporate into who I am. Getting more confident about who I really am when I'm in the outer world. That takes time. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. I'm a lot more of who I am now than I was last year. But that's all I wanted to talk about is the sun, its meaning, and how you can use that. If anybody's interested in a reading, I'll leave the link on the bottom, or you just can go to greg.thunderwizard.com, and I'll give you a reading. Once you make that purchase, I'll send you an email asking you for your exact time of birth, your place of birth, and we'll set up a time to talk. Or if not, I'll upload a video, and I'll send you the link, private video, and you'll be able to watch it whenever you want, as many times as you want. All right, so hope you guys are doing good. Have a good one. Sunny days. Peace.